What's going on, guys? It's Snooze603, and joining me today is special guest, a friend of mine, Jammin000.
Hey, what's up, man?
And today we're going to talk about something a little different that he definitely has a lot of insight in, is gaming parents, or what it is like trying to get in gaming when you're a parent and you've either got a kid or a couple of kids, they're young or old, whatever. There's a couple of things I want to talk about. The first is, the biggest question, how do you balance family time with game time? And actually, I've got family things going on behind me in the background, if anyone can hear that.
Yeah, somebody beating down the door, man.
So I'll start, because this is something that's been kind of difficult lately, because as everyone knows, it used to be myself and Fake Throw that ran the channel. And he recently left the channel, and now it's just me. But I've got a family of my own. I've obviously got my wife, I've got my dog, and most importantly, I've got my 18-month-old son, who takes up a lot of my time, even though I love him to death. I don't mean that in a negative way by any means.
No.
And the big thing, I've had a couple people ask me this, is how do you balance that? And for me, it equals a lot of very, very late nights, especially on the weekends, and it means pretty much no sleep at all. And that really what it boils down to. Like, I've got my normal 9 to 5, well, 7:30 to 4, 40-hour week job, and I come home and I take care of my son while my wife works nights, and I do everything. I'm Mr. Mom, or whatever you want to call it, from that moment I get home until my wife gets home and my son goes to bed at about 8 o'clock at night. I get him changed, do dinner and everything, give him, I help my wife with the bath. I very, very rarely give him a bath on my own. It's usually the last thing we do before we put him to bed, and then I go downstairs and I game, but I usually don't get down to my computer until like 8:30 at night, and I try to get to sleep at least by 11. I like to call it a night, so that I can get at least 6 hours of sleep before I'm up at 5:30 a.m. and into work for 7:30, and repeat process. And I try to keep it so there's only I'm only doing this like 3 to 4 nights a week, and so I usually end up doing a lot on the weekends, so I can. I get started like 8 o'clock on a Friday night, and I can stay up to like 2, 3 in the morning, and that's where I get most of my work done.
Yeah.
But that's it in a nutshell. That's how I find the balance. It's just fucking no sleep.
Yeah, Sean, it's tough, and as your kids get older, my kids are 9 and 6. I have 2 girls, and I'm married, so I live with 3 women, we can say, and it's not easy, and, finding the time to game and having a game that you enjoy is a big part of it, and when you go down to your game room, as you said, you have so little time to do what you want to do, and if you're playing something that frustrates you or something like that, and it just takes away from your enjoyment of gaming. And then for you, where you have such a large channel making videos and things, you got to commit a lot of time, and trying to balance that with your family is a big challenge. And I don't think that anybody who has kids can really understand the work that like yourself puts into a channel so large as what you have. And I don't know what the actual balance or what the key to success of it all is just your kids and your family have to come first. And gaming is something that I started to play because I had kids, believe it or not, because, in the evenings when my wife would go to work night shift like yours does, I'd be home in the evenings, my kids be asleep, they'd go to bed early, and I'd say, well, what do I do now? So, of course, I started gaming and, making videos and things of that nature, and, that's how I really got my channel off the ground. That's how I, found something to separate my workday from enjoyment, I guess you could say. I don't know how you found your way into gaming, but that's where it basically started for me, to be honest with you.
Yeah, everything for me started a little bit earlier. It was all pre-kid. It was actually pre-even marriage, but not by much. I graduated college in 2007, and we're actually going to get married at the end of 2007. But I used to be really into gaming before I went to college, and then I just didn't have the time, and I wasn't really interested because I was into freestyle BMX. That was pretty much my entire life, like from freshman year of high school all the way through to the end of college. And then my friends started bailing on it and stuff, and I started kind of falling away from it. And I was like, well, I need something to pick up the time, and I got back into gaming. And it kind of went from there, from like 2007, myself and Fake Thriller, we used to be friends in school, and then we lost kind of touch in college, and we became best friends again, or really good friends at least, after college. And we got back into gaming, and for like 2 years it was just like, that was our thing. We kind of went into old man mode right away. We both got married, and we were just like, play video games. That's what we're going to do.
That's what you do.
We're both out of college. We got money to spend, so let's go buy it. We both did the same thing. Went out and bought a brand new flat screen TV when they were still kind of new, and got brand new PlayStation 3s, and it was like, this is great.
We got the world by the balls.
Yeah. And previously it was easy enough to do daily videos because obviously there's two of us, so we're splitting the workload. A lot of the videos we did together, but it's like it's really easy because we record the commentaries together, but we do two videos at the same time. So we record one commentary and then finish it, send it to one another. Like, okay, Chris, you're gonna edit this one, so I'll send you my file, and then we record another one, and then he'd send me his, and we could at the same time in whatever it would take one person to get one video done, we're doing two at the same time. So, before kids, we're down here like almost every night. We're able to do this on a daily basis. We get videos up on a daily basis, and it was fucking fine because all that other time before my wife wasn't working nights, so like there was still plenty of balance between family time and game time.
And even now, like your boy is 18 months old, I think you told me.
Yes.
Yeah. So does he still take naps or no?
Yes, but it actually works out better for my wife because he usually naps right after lunch, and he goes down for about it depends, anywhere from like an hour to 3 hours. No idea what his rhyme or reason is to it.
So there's no advantage to you for getting some things done that you need to know. Yeah.
No, it actually is better this way because my wife has him most of the day.
Yeah. And
she gets to nap with him occasionally too, or she just gets a chance to get stuff done around the house. Yep. So it works out well that they do lunch, they do everything in the morning, they do lunch, and then he conks out, and sometimes she sleeps or takes a nap with him at the same time, or she gets stuff around the house. And then I get him from the moment I get out the door again until like 8. So I have him for about 4 hours in the evening on my own.
Yeah. So what happens when your kids get a little bit older, Sean? You're going to find that obviously they're going to be getting involved. Like the big thing for us in Canada, if you guys don't know, I'm from Atlantic Canada, so you have to excuse the accent. I'm sure the comments will be saying, "Where the hell is this guy from?" But when they get a little bit older, of course, they start getting involved in things like extracurricular activities, whether it be like for my kids is dance and skating and all this kind of stuff. And I guess for you, a big thing down in the States is football. So I can only assume that you'll be involved in that in some level. And then that you have to allocate time for that as well because, I mean, kids growing up nowadays, there's just so much for them to be into that's bad that you got to find more stuff for them to be into that's good, if that makes any sense to you.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And it's important that they're involved in these things, so that takes away from your time. And, I mean, from the time you get up to the time you go to sleep, life gets very busy when you have kids. And then you bring in, video games. It had to become the second thing that you have to do. It's not the most important by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah, one of the things that I know is, for a fact, my time on YouTube there's a time limit. And that time limit is running out fast. Like, if you can actually use like an old-fashioned hourglass full of fucking sand and tip that bitch over, you're looking at the last little bit of specks of dust in there as we're counting down the time to my time on YouTube being over, because I know that with my son getting older, he's going to need more time. And I'm fine with that. I really look forward to that. And the wife and I are talking about another kid too, and that's... Dude, I know when there's 2 kids, there's just fucking no way in hell that I can keep this going.
Well, I remember when we were going to have our second one, and I said, man, this is going to be so easy. Like, we've done it all. And we had the second one. I was like, holy shit, man. what have I done?
Right. Well, and that's the thing. Like, I don't know because I don't have a second kid, but I have a pretty good idea as to how time-consuming it's going to be, given that with the one kid, it's already pretty freaking time-consuming. Yeah.
But, Sean, at the same time, you still got to have some separation. You still got to have some time for you, because if you don't, you get frustrated with all the things that you had to do for everybody else, including work and, being a parent and things around. You have a house you have to take care of. You have to still find that that time for you, because if you don't, you just get too frustrated and you get pissed off at the world kind of thing,
Right. And I do have... at least, well, not really a plan, but an idea of what I would like to do. I don't know, a lot of people may not know this. I have made it a point in the past, but as far as hobbies go, gaming is number 2 in the list.
Yeah.
And it always has been and always will be. Fishing is my number 1 hobby. I fucking live for bass fishing. There's no way for me to adequately explain how much more bass fishing means to me and how much more excited I get about it, how much more driven and motivated I am to excel at it than I am over gaming. As much as I love gaming, I love fishing that much more.
Yeah.
So, when it comes to that time, push comes to shove, okay, Sean, you only have like 10 hours a week to yourself.
Yeah.
I'm putting that whole 10 hours into one day to go fishing.
Yeah, that's right.
And if that means that's the end of gaming, that's fine, because I get more out of fishing in every way conceivably possible or whatever, as far as it being a stress reliever, that I will never ever give up fishing, and if I will drop gaming fucking like that, just in the blink of an eye.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's what I say. You have to have something that separates. You got to have some you time, and it's very important. And I've learned that more in the last few years than I ever have, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those. If I can still balance everything out, that I'm not taking too much away from family time, that it's not having a negative impact on them, then
Exactly.
yeah, if I can fit in gaming, I still will. But it's one of those, like right now, I'm pretty much on the bare minimum, and I'm sure you're the same way. I mean, we're down to just a couple of videos a week, and it's what we maintain that, okay, well, I've got enough time during the week that I can still play for, a handful of hours and have fun and get enjoyment out of it, but I can also still squeak out a little bit of content to keep my fans happy.
Yeah.
And that's where we're at right now. But I think when push comes to shove, when I've got 2 kids, as they get older, they need more dad time and stuff, there may only be just enough time left that I can just game. I wouldn't want to dedicate any time to making videos, because that's going to eat up into the precious few hours I will have just to play in general.
Yeah. Well, that's why, last year was Battlefield 3 for me that I was posting content and things like that. And then all of a sudden, as you noticed, I drifted away from that when Battlefield 4 came in, because every time I started to play it, I get frustrated, and I just did not enjoy the game, and making content of something you didn't enjoy was just not going to happen for me, because obviously I don't have time to do that. So I started to play Euro Truck, and people were saying, man, you're not going to post content of that. Like, how does that even make sense? But I can sit down and I can play that game and talk to the people that enjoy watching it while I'm playing it, and at the end of the day, you just you drop it in DX Story, and as we mentioned before we started this, you drop it in Vegas, you hit render, good night, upload the next day kind of deal, and it's just fantastic, and it's done wonders for my channel, to be honest with you.
Yeah, and that's huge, being able to have a game that you like really enjoy. And Battlefield, I forget who it was that said it on Twitter. I'm very bipolar about it. Like the past couple weeks, I've been pretty consistent. Like I enjoy it because I found a way to make it enjoyable for me. It does still have its issues, but I've been able to work around them and get past them enough to enjoy it and have fun playing it and look forward to posting content.
That's important, man.
It is, but I'm looking forward to trying out some new games moving forward, because I don't see Battlefield 4 lasting even a quarter of the time that Battlefield 3 did. And that's just my opinion, but.
And your fans, Sean, that watch your videos are not only just watching for the videos you post, because I mean, for every video you post, there's 10 other people posting the same video at the end of the day, in my opinion.
Yep.
Right? Of very similar content. So I mean, most of your fans that watch your videos, I mean, I'm willing to bet that 80% of them watch them because the person that posts them up.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Yep.
So playing a game, posting what you like, man. At the end of the day, I don't think it's going to hurt your channel that much.
No, I don't think so either. We've kind of gotten off track a little bit here, but one of the last things I want to talk about, and I'm actually going to let you tackle it first, but with younger kids, when they get to that point, when they get to that age where gaming is a thing for them, where they recognize it and they look forward to it, and okay, I'm going to start playing games. A lot of people have asked me, and this has kind of been a hot topic on Twitter several times now, is what are my plans for introducing my son to gaming when he gets to that point? But before I want to hear from you first. So how did you go about when your daughters were like, hey, Dad, I want to play? Like the first time, like how did it go? Like what games did you play? How did you tackle it? The whole 9 yards.
Well, the big thing for my kids, they both have iPads. And nowadays, it seems like kids love these mobile devices where they started with iPods. The touch, you know what an iPod is.
Oh, yeah, I got one.
Yeah. So they both have iPad minis, and they freaking love Minecraft. That is their thing, and they enjoy it to no end, and they spend what I would consider maybe a bit too much time playing that, so I try to limit, introduce them to Minecraft, because Minecraft is a game that, well, it's Minecraft. You think and you build, and, what can you come up with at the end of the day, so there's kind of some brain activity going on there as well, I guess.
Yep.
So for Christmas, before Christmas, we didn't know what to get our oldest daughter, and we were down to the local game store, and she went over to where the PS4 is, and she said, Dad, I really like this. I was like, holy shit, she likes a PS4. I was like, way to go me, right? So we got her the PS4 for Christmas, and we bought the game Knack, which is like Super Mario Brothers on steroids, I guess you could say. And, you know, they sit down and enjoy that. We limit it to an hour a day. And, you know, I have 2 girls. They sit down. There's kind of a co-op mode they can get there. And my oldest daughter kind of helps my youngest daughter through the game. And they really enjoy that. And I sit down and play with them, too, because when they get stuck, because, I mean, I'm here like, yeah, give it to me. I can beat that, right? So it kind of brings us together and gives us some time together because they know I enjoy it. And it's just, it's important just not to spend too much time doing it, if that makes any sense, you know?
Right. No, I hear you.
So, like, when your son gets old enough, I mean, he'll start to play games. You need not worry about that. But, I mean, we played games growing up, Sean. I mean, I remember being 8 years old and playing Jackal on Nintendo. I mean, I spent till 5 o'clock in the morning playing that, you know, and I turned out okay, I think.
Yep. Well, you know, I've seen both sides of it. Like, I know I turned out pretty good. I definitely have temper and anger issues at times, but that doesn't have anything to do with gaming. I know that for a fact. If I could go into a whole other spiel about, I love my dad to death, but he's got a fucking temper on him, man. And I grew up, I mean, my parents didn't have a lot of money, and so like getting babysitters and stuff with 4 of us was kind of difficult. So I spent, being the only boy, a lot of time with my dad, and he is a master plumber, and by that he's not like the, you know, pants halfway down his ass, just fucking plunging toilets all the time. Like, when they build new houses, the new construction is what we always refer to it as, is he would plumb an entire house. He'd go in and he'd blueprint the place in his mind. They never really ever gave him blueprints because it was just a brand new house, really, and they just told him, bathroom's here, shower's there, laundry room's there, kitchen's there, plumb it. And he'd just sit there, you know, arms crossed, look at the house, be like, okay, I know what I'm doing. And he'd just fucking plumb the whole thing. That's what he does. He does other things, you know, like just remodels and then general repairs and stuff too. But his main thing was doing new construction because there's a lot of money in that. Yeah. So, you know, you think of those stereotypical like construction worker guys. They're always fucking foul-mouthed truck drivers and stuff. And hence the reason why I'm so foul-mouthed. I grew up around that. Yeah. Like that's where my rage comes from, is my awful swearing habits. As I spent so much of my childhood surrounded by tradesmen, plumbers, carpenters, electricians, like painters, just all these guys that fucking wore dirty ass clothes and had to fucking no one to talk to but themselves, and they're just, oh. At any rate, I digress. That's where my rage comes from. But I remember started playing. Was it the Nintendo Entertainment System came out in '85? That's when I was born. And when it became an affordable price for my parents is when I was about 4 or 5. It was right around 1990. And I remember fucking raging playing Super Mario because I couldn't get past certain points. And Super Mario. But you know, I was like 5 years old. I couldn't figure it out. I kept doing stupid shit over and over again. And my dad was never in electronics, so he couldn't help me. And he'd just get mad at me because I was getting mad. And so, like, gaming up front when I was a little kid at first was really negative for my parents in their eyes because I was just always so goddamn mad. And I took it out on the game. And that's kind of like, thinking back on that, and I also got really fucking porky because I was an inactive little shit when I was a little kid. So I got really fat. And like, thinking back on that, I'm like, I don't want that for my son. And this goes back to everything we talked about on Twitter. Why I mentioned I have no intentions or plans of introducing gaming to my son. Like, when he's old enough to kind of understand what's going on down here, I've already told the wife I'm putting, like, a really, really nice door and lock. Like, fucking thumbpad entry, or, you know, thumbprint, like, fingerprint entry and everything. So that he can't get in here. I don't want him to know
Sean,
about it.
I'm going to tell you right now, man, that's not going to work. Because
it's
the generation of kids because, I mean, my kids are older. I mean, they understand this stuff. I mean, they're surrounded by it everywhere. And they're going to want to use these devices. And, I mean, you know, this, like, by the time say your son gets 5 or 6, I mean, you know, this stuff it's everywhere, man. You're not going to be able to stop him from doing it. It's just a matter of controlling it and, you know, picking the games that he plays. And obviously, if he starts raging, well, you want.
Yeah, I know, and that's one of the things a lot of people brought up. It's all about balance and making sure they don't overdo it at any point or anything. And I agree. I don't think that's going to be an issue. I'm sure we'll be able to curb it. And
and you'll enjoy that time, Sean, with him. You will.
Oh yeah, I'm sure I will. I think it's gonna be a blast. I mean, maybe I'll lose a little patience at first, but I'll do my best to keep it in control.
No, man, you gotta jump up there.
Stop fucking dying.
Why are you doing that, man?
There's one more point I wanted to make. Oh, okay. So, you know, like, I know I can't keep him in the dark about this, especially when he gets into school, because that's what takes up a lot of kids, what takes up a lot of their time. I mean, especially when I was a kid, all these new consoles, like, again, Nintendo Entertainment System was, like, becoming really, really popular about 1990 because a lot of people were picking it up. Like, I know a lot of people had at that point, but I know it was still picking up steam at that point in time as well. And then after that, there was, like, the Super Nintendo, and then Sega Genesis and all that shit. And then, you know, new franchises like Madden, NFL came out. And I remember when that came out. Actually, no, it was... What am I thinking? It was Madden 90... Madden 93 or 94? I don't know, it was one of those. It was like... Whatever, they made a big jump, and it was on Sega Genesis, and everyone was fucking so stoked for it. And that was a big thing in school. That's what everyone talked about. Exactly. And I don't want to ruin something for my kid that he can't talk about shit like that because his dad's lame and is too worried about him being socially awkward that I don't want to get him in the game, you know what I mean? It's like, I know there's a balance, and I just gotta keep a level head and be realistic about things as I move forward.
Yeah, that's right. It's not all bad, man, you know?
Where are you at?
No, that's true. It's tough because I've got, I've seen how bad it can be firsthand.
Oh my god, absolutely.
But I've also seen how good it can be. So if I can find, hopefully, the good side of it, and if I can get the good result out of it in the end, I'll be happy. Like, if I ever see the bad, though, I'm fucking cutting it off.
My daughters come in my computer room. They do not touch my PC. They know they're not allowed to use it. And, you know, they know that there's another computer in here that they can use to go on and watch their YouTube videos and all this kind of thing. And that's another point that we can keep going on this for hours. But, you know, they know that there's games that they can play and they know what they're not allowed to use. And, you know, again, the PS4 is there and they can play that, and the PS3 is there and they have their iPad. So, I mean, they have their selection of what they can. And you know, when you start bringing YouTube into this, and, again, we can talk about this another time, but, you know, when the kids get older, they start to find out what you're doing. Right, because your videos will still be around when your son's old enough to watch them. So,
yep, that's true.
You know, right?
That's gonna be either really awesome or really awkward for him when he gets into like middle school. Like, guys, check out what my dad did back in the 2000s.
He was shit. Or you could be his hero. You never know.
That's true. So, all right. I mean, that's gonna wrap up. We touched on the 3 points, and we actually even touched on a few other points that were kind of related to everything. So it was a good discussion, and for those that have stuck around at this point, you know what I'm going to do? I haven't done this in a while, and Jamie, we're going to need your help with this. We need to give a secret code word that people need to put in the comments to prove to me that they stuck around for the whole commentary.
I got one.
What?
Newfie.
Newfie. I like that. How are you going to spell it, though?
Newfie.
Oh, see, I would have thought FY.
No. You did that before on Twitter, and I drilled you for it.
I remember that. Okay. So, for those that have stuck around to this point, secret code word is Newfie. If you made it, go ahead, drop a comment, leave it there. But, you know, for those that are gaming parents, I would love to hear your thoughts as well on everything related. I know that there's actually a lot of people that follow not only myself, but Jamie as well, that are gaming parents as well. And I would love to hear how you guys and girls, or men, gentlemen, women, lady folk, how you all find that balance, because I know everyone does it differently, and some people can make it happen and others can't. So that's pretty much it. So Jamie, thank you for being a guest on this. I appreciate it, man, and I appreciate your insight, being one of the older YouTubers that I know of, with older kids too. That's the most important thing. Not that you're old by any means, but you're a few years older than the rest of us.
Well, Sean, thanks for having me, man. I really appreciate it. And anytime you want to have a conversation, it's fantastic. Love to do it anytime.
Not a problem. Cool. All right, guys, and if you're interested in some Euro Truck Simulator, you can head over to Jamie's channel and check it out. He's actually very, very good at that shit. And, dude, his setup is insane. If you guys haven't seen his setup video, you need to go watch that, because that shit's awesome.
Yeah. But, don't let me hear.
Right,
don't let my wife hear you say that.
All right, thanks, guys, for watching. We'll catch you later.
Peace. See ya.